that he finds. I don't know where he finds them all. But anger is another subtle disease, and it's described in the Vedas that the uh, body is very much affected by anger. The place where the anger there's the anger. Yeah, the eyes are affected by anger. If someone's angry, you could tell looking at their eyes. Oh, this guy's angry. Another place where anger comes out is the hands, the fist get hard, and they sometimes people get so angry they can't punch somebody, but they punch a wall. Let out their kick. Also, that's another way to show anger is the feet and the hands and the eyes, and it really affects the living entity to become angry. So anger is the little brother of lust. If someone is has some great desire and is not fulfilled, then it becomes angry. So this is another subtle uh, contamination disease. So who can say what is the difference between lust and love? Can anyone say?
Feel free to unmute yourself. Go ahead, Van.
I think lust is the desire that you want to have something, and love is like you want the best for us.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, lust is you want something for yourself. It's selfish,
Yes.
selfish desire. Love is selfless. You want to help somebody. You want to give. It's selfless. So in this world, there's a lot of selfishness. So in the Bhakti hospital, this is where we learn to be selfless and try to help. Actually, one of the greatest qualities of anyone actually is compassion. They want to help others, and that's what this Bhakti movement, this Hare Krishna movement is about. It's a giving society. We give out a lot of Bhakti books. That's actually our main activity. And what's really nice is here in Silicon Valley, ISKCON of Silicon Valley, it's number one in the country in distributing these Bhakti books. And it's very nice. Uh, it changes people's lives. So to chant this mantra, this Hare Krishna mantra, is a very nice way to become free of this material disease. Also reading. We have so many nice books. The Bhagavad Gita is it's my favorite. I read the Bhagavad Gita the first time, 47 years ago, and I was so impressed that by the arrangement of Krishna, the Supreme Being, uh, I went to the Bhakti hospital, the nearest Bhakti hospital, uh, and I met devotees there, and I could see that here's some people that are healthy spiritually and materially. If you're healthy spiritually, it's much easier to be healthy materially because people that are spiritually healthy, they live very nice lives. For instance, we're vegetarian, and especially practitioners that live in the temple, we rise early. It's like, oh, Bhakta Benjamin Franklin, it said early to bed, early to rise makes a person healthy, wealthy, and wise. So this bhakti process helps one materially and spiritually to get free of these diseases. So there's another one is greed. They said the three main ones: lust, anger, and greed. So greed is there, and unfortunately, it's another epidemic. So many people, even family members, sometimes they'll cheat their own family members. There's billionaires that don't give any charity. So greed is another one. So this bhakti process helps us to become free of the contaminations of the soul. Srila Prabhupada, our teacher, he said that the soul is embarrassed to be in the material body because the nature of the soul is eternality, knowledge, and bliss. This is the nature of the soul. We're eternal. The soul can't be destroyed by any weapon or in any way. It can't be destroyed. But people have forgotten. So many people think, you know, that when the body dies, that's it. Even Srila Prabhupada, our teacher, he was in Russia and he was speaking to a big Hindu professor. And he said to Prabhupada, Swamiji, when the body dies, that's it. And Prabhupada was shocked that here he is, a professor of the Vedas, and didn't even have that basic understanding. So this is reality that we're eternal, and also we have knowledge. But by this process of hearing, then this knowledge becomes reawoken. It's actually there already, but we're reawakening it. Just like within wood, there's fire; it just has to be ignited. So within all of us, there's this knowledge and this bliss and this understanding of our eternal nature. It just has to be ignited, and that's what this bhakti process does. By hearing, by chanting, by association. This is another thing that in the bhakti hospitals we have nice association of patients that are being cured of the material diseases. Now, one might ask, well, there's many places, there's many places that would consider themselves to be also hospitals for the soul. There's so many religions. So, which one do we go to get healed? Because all religions are kind of, basically like that, hospitals for the soul, trying to grow spiritually. So, which one? So we go to the one where we find people are being healed. The most people are coming out healthy, just like if someone goes to a hospital and from one doctor, it's being found that the patients are coming out healthy, and from another doctor, they're not coming out healthy. Which do you go to? You go to the one where the patients are coming out healthy. So before I came to this ISKCON Bhakti Hospital, I studied different religions. And I could see by observing the devotees in this ISKCON hospital that they were coming out healthy. So I thought, all right, these people are healthy, so good chance I'll be healthy too if I follow this process. So, and sure enough, I mean, I'm not completely cured, but there's been some progress. Certainly, there's been some progress uh, in this path. So, I was just listening to a friend today, and he said we should not give up that which we want the most to get something quick now. We should have a goal, a purpose, just like in this 4 questions by Vaisesika Maharaj. One of the questions is, what is our purpose? So if we have a purpose in life, especially a spiritual purpose in life, then this gives impetus to grow spiritually, to hear spiritual wisdom, to chant the mantras sincerely with a desire to grow spiritually. And this gives pleasure to the soul. And when the soul is completely healthy, then we're happy. No contamination. And this is what everybody wants. Everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants love, but they don't know. Just like an example is given in our books of a deer who is dying of thirst and doesn't know that nearby there's some water, and it goes in the wrong direction and dies. So people are looking in the wrong direction for happiness. It's mentioned in the Vedas that within everyone there is a soul. The soul is in the region of the heart, and also there is the super soul, who accompanies the soul and is always uh, enthusiastic to help us in our journey to becoming pure again. So if we turn to that super soul and serve, then we can grow spiritually. It's described that there's in the Vedas that there's a tree, and in the tree there's two birds. One bird is trying to enjoy the fruits of the tree, and the other bird is observing the bird that's trying to enjoy. So within our body, there's the soul and there's the super soul. He's observing us, trying to enjoy the fruits of this world. And it's called a Chaitra Guru, the Lord in the heart. So he encourages us, especially if we go on a spiritual journey, he encourages us and makes arrangements for us to advance in spiritual life. And Krishna, the Supreme Being, he comes in himself also. He comes and he gives us the Bhagavad Gita. He sends so many pure devotees to help us in this journey of becoming healthy again. So I think you have some other slides there. Don't you, Jan? Let's see. Yes, this is another disease, old age. What is a disease? A disease is something that people don't want, right? People don't want to get old. They don't want to get disease. They don't want to die. And birth also can be uh, pretty intense. Even there's called uh, still birth. They call it still birth. They call it death. The child comes out passed away. So this is another disease, old age. We don't want it. People are trying to avoid old age, or they take these shots now, right? Trying to what do they call it? Trying to get free of wrinkles. What do they call that? They take shots to remove wrinkles. So people don't want to. What do they call it? Lisa, you're muted. Anyway, there's various ways that people try to.
Vicky, did you want to say?
Huh?
I think it's Botox.
Botox. Yeah, Botox. I heard there's even people that aren't wrinkled. They're taking Botox shots. Just getting ready for it or something. Maybe that way they can avoid it or something. But yeah, people are trying to avoid old age. They don't want to get old. People want to stay young. Why do they want to stay young? Because that's natural. The soul, actually, in the spiritual world, nobody looks old. Everybody looks young, and people want to be like that here. Just like it said that people want the kingdom of God, but without God, or the kingdom of Ram without Ram. So, yeah, old age, disease. People don't want to get disease. Like there's so many diseases. There's thousands and thousands of them. I have two diseases, one called eosinophilic esophagitis. Anybody heard of that one? It's a disease of the esophagus. I got some allergies, but with diet, I'm kind of keeping it. But yeah, there's so many diseases we never heard of. I have another one called sesamoiditis. Anybody heard of that one? Sesamoiditis. That's where we all have sesamoid bones. You know, on your knee, you have a bone that moves. You know that bone that moves on your knee? That's called a sesamoid bone. And believe it or not, under your or behind your big toe, there's four sesame bones there. And one of my bones there got a little injured, so they call it sesamoiditis. So there's so many diseases, so many problems can go, you know, with the body. But the main diseases are these subtle diseases. And this process, this meditation, this hearing of the Vedic literatures, this helps us to become free of of these diseases. What else do you have there, JM? Yes, why medicine stops at the body. Yeah, so many medicines they can help the body, but not the soul. You can't go and get some pill or some injection that can cure the soul of the disease, the subtle diseases. The subtle diseases can only be cured by subtle treatment. So this hearing and chanting, this is subtle treatment for the soul. This cures the soul of contamination. Nobody likes to be contaminated. Nobody likes to be dirty. Therefore, we bathe regularly. So this process frees us of contamination. Wisdom, this is the medicine of the soul. So wisdom is so important. So where do we get wisdom? One friend of mine, he was growing up and he asked his mother, "What should I do? What's the goal of life?" She said, I have no clue. I don't know what you should do." So it stated that Guru Nasasya Prajino Nasasya, that one should not become a guru, one should not become a father, a mother, or a teacher if one cannot deliver one's dependence. So we're getting this knowledge of the Vedas, and this helps us to become cured of these many diseases. And when we're completely free of disease, we're good. When we're free of disease, then we also want to help others get free of the disease. It's like when I read the Bhagavad Gita and I went to the temple, I heard that the most important activity in our movement is to give this knowledge out to others. And I thought, okay, that sounds like a good thing to do. This knowledge has helped me so much in my journey. So I started doing that. That was 47 years ago, and it's such a nice activity. I just want to keep doing it till can't do it anymore because it's so nice. People are appreciating this knowledge. I get so much feedback from people that receive our books. I got one letter from a person who had gotten a book from me, and he said, "I want to let you know that I'm being initiated soon, and I'd like to invite you to my initiation." And that was the best email I ever received, because initiation means that we're beginning very seriously, we're beginning the journey to becoming pure. souls again. You had one up there, Jim. What was that? Practices that set the spirit free. Yeah, everybody likes to be free. Right? Everybody likes to be free. You want to uh, be free to uh, act the way we want to in a spiritual way, and it takes practice. Whatever you do, if you practice it, then you get better at it. Practice makes perfect. Right? So the spiritual practice helps us to understand who we are, who the Supreme Being is, what the goal of life is, what happens at the time of death. There's three questions that an intelligent person will ask. Why am I here? What's the goal of life? What happens at the time of death? So these are important. The reason we're here is to understand who we are, that we're spirit souls, that we understand who the Supreme is, and that we're meant to serve that Supreme. Everybody is serving. It's like now there's going to be, next year there'll be elections, different areas around the country. So everybody is saying that I'll be the best servant. Please vote for me. And JM, he does such nice service here with these Bhakti programs. And what to speak of Vaisesika Maharaj? He's a powerhouse of seva. I don't know how he does it. He's just doing so much service. All over the world, he's doing service. So we're all doing service. So the best service that we can do is service to the Vaishnavas, to the devotees of Krishna, and service to Krishna. And this actually it's our spiritual master, Prabhupada. He says that the most congenial way to show your affection for someone is through service. If you love someone, then naturally you want to serve. Is there anything I could do for you? It's natural. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains many things that we can do that are pleasing to him. He says that we should offer our food to him. We shouldn't just buy it and eat. No, there should be some gratitude. We're getting so many nice foodstuffs, so to offer it back to that person who has given it to us, it's a sign of love, gratitude, gratefulness. It's like there's a saying that Krishna, he gives and he gives and he gives and then he forgives. And we get and we get and we get and we forget. So we should be very grateful for actually Krishna, he's serving us also. So we should be grateful. And if we're not grateful, then we're great fools. We should be very grateful. And so that's one way to show or to serve Krishna is by offering our food. And he also says, always think of me. We have to think of something. Sometimes there's people that are meditating, their desire is to get free of desire. This is a type of meditation, just nothingness, but that's not possible. We're always going to desire something. We're not dead stones. We have to desire something. So to think of Krishna is very good. It's very purifying. We have to desire something. Even so, these people say, "No, I want to be free of desire," but that's also desire. We can't get free of desire. but we can have pure desire. So that's what the teachings of Krishna give, meant to help us have pure desire. And pure desire means, yeah, selflessness. And we learn how to be selfless from those who are selfless. It's like Srila Prabhupada. At the age of 69, he left India. When he got to America, he was 70. He had his birthday there in the Pacific Ocean. But generally, when people are in their 70s or late 60s, they retire. That's it. I don't know, sit around and play checkers or something. I don't know. But no, he had an order by his spiritual master to preach this message to the English-speaking world, and he did it so well in his great humility, with his great knowledge. Part of his name is Bhakti Vedanta. Bhakti, of course, means devotion. Vedanta means knowledge. So he's given knowledge and he's given devotion. And when Prabhupada arrived in New York City, there was an unwritten rule: don't trust anyone over 35. So Prabhupada shows up, and he's twice that age. He's 70 years old. And because he's so pure, he's so compassionate, he's so kind, so many youth, teenagers and people in their 20s came to Prabhupada, and they gave their life. They didn't just trust him, but they gave their life to him because of his purity. So purity is the force. And the more pure we are, the more we get free of disease, the more we will also have this compassion and will want to go out of our way to help people. People don't know what is best for them. So this knowledge gives direction by which they can grow spiritually. So now, JM, this goes till 6:30. Am I correct?
Yes, yes. We can invite some questions or
Yeah.
comments if you
Any
want.
reflections or questions or comments? Maybe we could open it up now.
Yeah. Or if you are here for the first time, we'd like to hear from you as well. Please feel free to say hi or introduce your friends if you brought in. Go ahead, Vicky.
Thank you. I wanted to introduce Lisa, who is joining us for the first time today. She met our friend Kautuk recently, and something that stood out to me upon meeting her virtually was that she's a professor of social services at UC Hayward. So she's doing some really important social work, and she has had quite a spiritual journey. So Lisa, if you have a chance to say hello or share a reflection, we're really happy to have you here.
Maybe you're on mute. This technology. Or you don't have to say anything. It's all right too.
Yeah. Welcome, Lisa. Glad to have you. Love to hear from you if you get a chance. Whenever you get a chance, yeah. But really happy to have you.
Yeah, it's nice that you're on this spiritual journey. You're a professor at a university. Generally, the people that are in such a high position, it's hard for them to go on a spiritual journey with so much going on and so much knowledge. We have another professor, Dr. Chuck, who is a professor at Stanford University, and he's very much embracing this process. Wonderful, wonderful devotee, along with his wife.
Right. Can you all hear me now?
Oh yeah, we hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I'm not able to stay the whole hour. I didn't realize I had something else planned for today.
I'm sure
At
you're
this
busy.
time, but I've enjoyed the the speaker thus far, definitely on this spiritual journey, still journaling until the next journey starts over, right? So I definitely look forward to attending next week as well.
Really?
So again, thanks for the invitation.
Which
And
books did you get?
oh, I got several, and I have not started reading them yet, but I do have
Oh,
them on my bedside. So
you're busy.
yes, I intend to once I dive in, I'm in. So
Okay, good.
yes, good. And I'm sorry, I do have to jump off of here at this time.
Okay, no problem.
Okay,
Thank you
all
again
right,
for joining.
all
Thank
right. Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Hey, any other questions, comments, reflections so far in the talk? Or anyone else have joined here for the first time or after a long time? Okay, Vicky, go ahead, Chuck.
One reflection that I had was the Krishna gives and gives and then forgives. And then Vijayadasa, I was forgetting the second half, but I remember that contrast stood out to me.
The second half, you said? Oh, you just.
Yeah. Yeah, there was the Krishna gives and forgives, and
Oh, yeah, yeah,
we receive and forget or something.
yeah. We give, we forget. So it's important to remember, you know, what all this, so much is being given to us. The sun, so nice. Weather here is so nice, and so many things, fruits and vegetables, and good association, which is what we should be most grateful for, because by association, then we are able to advance very quickly. Especially we have such nice association. Vaisesika Maharaj, he's created a very nice family of serious devotees. So it's yeah, to be very grateful. Thank you for that.
And Vicky did post you. Do you want to just say that?
I was reflecting back a few of the gems that Vijay Prabhu has said so far, starting with one who is healthy spiritually is healthy materially. We should not give up our ultimate purpose to get something quick. That one really woke me up. And people want the kingdom of God without God. And what Chuck just said, and hearing transcendental sound vibration is a subtle treatment for the soul, medicine in the form of wisdom. And when we're free of subtle diseases such as anger, ego, greed, lust, we want to help others. Another one that really stood out was the most congenial way to show your affection for someone is through service. Something that Pavni always says is that service is turns knowledge into conviction, and is the ultimate expression of love. And I also really like how you quoted that purity is the force. And the more pure we become, the more compassion we have for others.
Thank you for those. You got a lot of reflections there. Very good. So yeah, this process is it's a practical process. When we read the books and we act on them, then you feel the reciprocation. Just like I mentioned earlier, that our most important activity is giving this knowledge out to others. So when we do that, then the process actually you actually start living the process, because we go out and we distribute this knowledge, and you have to be tolerant. Tolerance is a very important quality. So it's good to be in a situation where we're forced to be tolerant. And here in this community, also the main activity is book distribution. So many devotees go on book distribution. And that's why it's so successful. So and this is one of the reasons that devotees, they have so much tolerance. And when one is tolerant, then one can be compassionate. If we're not tolerant, then there's no room for compassion. And yes, it's so important. There's one pastime of Prabhupada. He was in a plane with his servant, and there was a football team on the plane who had won the game, and they were celebrating on the plane. This is the time when they used to smoke on the planes, but there was a no smoking area and a smoking area. So Prabhupada and his servant were in the no smoking area, but there was people with the team that were also in the no smoking area, but they started smoking. So the servant called over the steward and said, "Excuse me, they're smoking there. Can you ask them to not smoke here?" And she did, and they stopped smoking. But 10 minutes later, they started smoking again. And then the servant got up to complain again, and Prabhupada said, "Where are you going?" "I'm going to complain, Prabhupada, they're smoking again." Prabhupada said, "Sit down. Sit down. It's okay." If we're not tolerant, then what's the difference between them and us? So tolerance is very important. It's the verse Titikshava Karunika, tolerance, compassion. And then Surda means a friend to everyone. So there's another very nice pastime. Some of you may have not heard it. If you have already, you'll like to hear it again. Prabhupada was in India, and many of his disciples were there also. This is back in 1970. And Prabhupada had just brought over he asked about 30 devotees to come from America because they were going to spread Krishna consciousness in America. In India. They were already, he had temples all over America, and then he wanted to spread it in India. So there's 30 devotees there, and one of them was Giriraj, Brahmachari at the time. Now he's Swami. But he was the son of a multimillionaire. And the father was very upset that he had gone to India. He's the only son. So he went with his wife to India to try to get him to go back to America. So Giriraj picked him up at the airport, and immediately his father's trying to convince him to go back to America. And he said, "No, I want to stay here." And he could see that he's going to need some other way to convince him. So he said, "Well, can you arrange a meeting with your spiritual master I'd like to speak to?" He said, "Yes." So Giriraj, his father and his mother, met there with Prabhupada, and Giriraj was there, and the servant was there as well. So the father said, "This disciple of yours, he's my only son, and we miss him. Please, can you send him back?" So Prabhupada asked Giriraj, "Would you like to go back to America?" And Giriraj said, "No, I prefer to stay here." So Prabhupada said to the parents, you don't want me to force him, do you?" And they said, "No, because there's a saying here in America, A person forced against his will is of the same opinion still. So they figured he'd probably leave again anyway. So it was understood he would stay. But Prabhupada said, well, take him to the Himalayas, take him to Nepal for a week, spend some time with him. And he said, yeah, I can do that. So they went to Kathmandu for a week and spent some time with his parents. And when they got back to Bombay, Giriraj wanted them to spend some more time with Prabhupada, because a moment's association with a great devotee has some immense benefit. So they went and they met with Prabhupada, the parents, and they had a good time talking to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, he wasn't preaching, he was just talking to them and joking with them, and they had a good time. And they left very happy. And the servant said to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you amaze me. Everybody loves you so much. And Prabhupada said, that's because I love everyone so much. So this is what happens when we become pure. We love everyone. And we want to serve everyone to our best capacity. And this gives pleasure to the soul to serve, just like we're going out and we're distributing books. So this is a service to humanity. And it gives great pleasure. Actually, I could tell you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, my most wonderful experiences on this planet, in this life, have been out giving this knowledge to the people. People appreciate. Sometimes they're in tears. They're so happy. People are looking for this knowledge. They're looking for guidance. So when we're there and we're giving it to them, they're very appreciative, very grateful that we're doing this. And sometimes they even become devotees, practitioners of the bhakti process. Many years ago, I was distributing books in San Diego, and I gave a Bhagavad Gita to one gentleman, and he appreciated it so much. He started coming to the temple in San Diego, and he started visiting more and more. And then he joined the monastery, and he also heard about this, the importance of distributing this knowledge. And right now he is with Kautu Karnava, one of our monks here in Silicon Valley. He's distributing books with him today. So it's a wonderful bhakti hospital where we get cured, and we go out and we try to help others also become healthy souls. It's not easy because the soul has been in the material world for a long time. It's called reincarnation. It's like within this lifetime, we've reincarnated so many times. It's said that the body goes through a complete change every 7 years. All the cells reproduce. So many of us here have been in so many bodies because we're going from one body to another, even in this lifetime. This body is not the same body I had when I was a child. All the cells are reproduced. Everything's different. So just as we're going through these different bodies, from boyhood to youth, old age, the soul is going to go into another body according to our karma. We're the architects of our future. So if we live a healthy spiritual life in this lifetime, then we're arranging for our very nice life in our next life, in the spiritual world. This is the goal of the human form of life, is to become so pure that we go back to our real home. This isn't our real home. This place where there's so many hospitals. In the spiritual world, there's not one hospital. There's no disease. There's no old age. It's called Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha means no anxiety. Here, there's so much anxiety. It's called Kunta, so much anxiety. So there, it's Vaikuntha. So this is the goal of the human form of life. And it's a big challenge. It's the biggest challenge anybody can face. But big reward. Big reward. It's like there's people here that live very nice, wealthy lives in Palo Alto or Beverly Hills due to their past karma. They're in a nice situation, educated, wealthy, beautiful. But they're using up their karma now. And the next life, they don't know. So pure karma means that we're building up our spiritual credits. And then at the end of this life, if we are pure enough, then we can go back to that spiritual world. Very attractive spiritual world. So is there any other question or?
Yeah, I have a question. Thank you, Vijay, for your wonderful talk today. You said sometime back that we have to think anyways. Krishna tells us to always think about him. I wanted to see if you can elaborate on that. Like, how do we always think about Krishna?
Whoa, that's a deep question. Well, when we hear the pastimes of Krishna, it's like we have the Bhagavad Gita. The postgraduate study of the Bhagavad Gita, this is the Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is where one is able to read about the activities of Krishna. And from hearing about the activities of Krishna, one is able to remember Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains how to think of him. Kaving pranam anusasataram, which means that we should think of Krishna as he who knows everything. This is the position of the Supreme Being. He knows everything. How much do we know? Very little. It's like I met one person who didn't believe in a Supreme Being. And I said, well, I asked him, so how much do you know? And he said, well, not much. So I said, that's right. There's billions of things that you don't know. There's billions of things that all of us don't know. So I said to him, one of the things you don't know is whether there's a Supreme Being or not. And he said, you're right. I don't know. So I'm not an atheist. I'm an agnostic. So I said, very good. You don't know. So this book will give you knowledge of that Supreme Being. And he said, all right, I'll take it. Let me find out. So Kaving Pranam, so he knows everything. He's the oldest person. This is the Supreme Being. He's the oldest person. Although he doesn't look old. Like there's that picture of the Supreme Being in the Sistine Chapel in Rome. He looks very old. He's on the ceiling. Michelangelo, he painted this picture. It took him 4 years. I mean, it's a good picture. But he's got gray hair. He looks a little overweight. Doesn't look very attractive. That's supposed to be the Supreme Being, God. But no, that's not. That's not the true depiction of the Supreme Being. He's the most beautiful. No one is more beautiful. Or maybe Radharani. So he's very, very attractive. He's old but attractive. Kaving pranam anusasataram means he's the controller. It's like we're also controllers. Just like we're all in our room and we can control different things in our room. And you have a car and you can drive a car. You can control a little bit here and there. But the Supreme Being, Krishna, he's the Param Ishwar, which means he's the supreme controller. He controls everything. And he's a good manager. He's a good engineer. He knows what he's doing. Therefore, everything is going on so nicely. Amazing. So, Kaving Pranam Anusasan, Honor Aniyangsam. That he's smaller than the smallest and bigger than the biggest, which is one of his. See, he's inconceivable. Sarvashadataram Achintirupam, that he's maintaining everyone. It's like JM is maintaining the nice family there in Palo Alto. Krishna is maintaining everyone. Adityavarnam, the last line of that is he's brilliant. He's effulgent. There's a description that Krishna, the Supreme, he's so effulgent that one devotee said, "Please, Krishna, remove this effulgence so I could see your form." Very effulgent. And he can never, tamasopats rastat, he can never be overcome by the modes of ignorance or passion. In this world, everybody is overcome by ignorance and passion. There's a little goodness, mostly ignorance and passion. But Krishna, he's never overcome by ignorance and passion. To the contrary, he controls the modes of nature, all the modes of nature. So he's known as the most pure. And therefore, by coming in contact with Krishna, with the Supreme Being, we also become pure. Want to be nice to be pure. Say yes. Okay, anything else? Okay, I want to thank everybody for joining. I wasn't able to give such a nice talk as Vaiseshika Maharaj, but something.
No, thank you so much. It was lots of gems we collected. We became very, at least I became very rich today with all the gems that I received. So thank you so much for coming. It was a last minute request, but thank you so much. I really had a wonderful enlightening session, and I'm hoping everyone had the same as well. Okay, with that, thank you so much for, and if you allow, we can sign off with a big Hari Bol, which Vice generally signs off with. Is that okay? Sure. Okay, then. So let's sign off with a big Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Haribol.
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 Haribol.